In cybersecurity, certifications have become the golden ticket to a thriving career. But what if I told you that these coveted credentials are nothing more than a scam designed to line the pockets of exam providers? From CompTIA to ISC2, Cisco to Microsoft, the industry is flooded with several certifications, each promising to set you apart in a highly competitive job market. But at what cost? In this eye-opening video, we'll expose the dirty secrets behind the cybersecurity certification industry. So, let's get started. Let's start by taking a closer look at the certification industry itself. The world's largest cybersecurity certification body, the EC Council, is at the center of a growing controversy. Founded in 2001, the EC Council made a name for itself with the launch of its flagship certification, the Certified Ethical Hacker, or CEH, in 2003. At the time, the CEH certification was a game-changer, providing a much-needed credential for aspiring penetration testers and ethical hackers. However, as the demand for cybersecurity professionals grew, so did the price tag. What was once a $150 exam has now ballooned to a staggering $1,200, with training courses ranging from $850 to $3,000. The CISSP exam, which has been around since 1998, has maintained a much more reasonable price point, with the current cost sitting at just $749. When adjusted for inflation, the CISSP exam is priced almost exactly where it should be, while the CEH has seen an astronomical increase that far outspaces the market. Cybersecurity professionals have long criticized the CEH exam for being nothing more than a memory dump, focusing heavily on terminology and tools rather than practical hacking skills. Many argue that the exam doesn't truly teach you how to hack, as the name Certified Ethical Hacker would suggest. Instead, it's seen as a glorified version of the CompTIA Security Plus certification, with a few extra penetration testing tools thrown in. To make matters worse, the EC Council has been plagued by a series of embarrassing incidents that have called into question the integrity of their certifications. From latent sexism and plagiarism to website hacks and vulnerabilities, the company's public image has taken a beating, leaving many to wonder if their certifications are even worth the exorbitant price tag. The selling point is always the same: get certified and employers will be lining up to hire you. These certifications, we're told, are the golden ticket to a lucrative cybersecurity career. But the reality couldn't be farther from the truth. The dirty secret is that most of these certifications have very little actual value in the job market. Sure, they look impressive on a resume, but they don't translate to real-world skills or knowledge. They're essentially glorified participation trophies. Take the vaunted Certified Ethical Hacker certification from the EC Council. It's one of the most prevalent cybersecurity certs out there, with over 100,000 holders worldwide. However, numerous studies have shown that CEH holders perform no better on hacking assessments than those without the certification. The material is often outdated and fails to keep up with the rapidly changing threat landscape. The same goes for many other cybersecurity certs. They're designed to be passed, not to actually train competent security professionals. Countless job seekers have wasted thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours studying for these certifications, only to find that employers don't really care about them. In fact, some of the biggest names in tech have begun actively discouraging candidates from relying too heavily on certifications. Google, for example, has said that they place little weight on certifications when evaluating potential hires. They're much more interested in real-world skills and problem-solving abilities. However, the problem extends beyond just the CEH certification. Across the cybersecurity certification landscape, we're seeing a concerning trend of exam providers prioritizing profits over quality. Unauthorized course leaks, fake certificates, and cheating services are becoming increasingly common on the dark web, undermining the credibility of these certifications and putting employers at risk of hiring unqualified candidates. The rise of these fraudulent certification services is deeply troubling for the cybersecurity industry. Individuals who purchase fake certificates or use cheating services are not only deceiving potential employers, but they're also putting the entire security community at risk. These unqualified professionals may end up in positions of trust with access to sensitive data and systems, all while lacking the necessary skills and knowledge to protect against cyber threats. But the responsibility doesn't solely lie with those seeking shortcuts. Certification providers like the EC Council have a duty to uphold the integrity of their exams and crack down on these illicit activities. Unfortunately, the evidence suggests that they have been falling short in this regard. Despite the increasing prevalence of fake certificates and cheating services, the EC Council and other certification bodies have done little to address the problem. In fact, their focus seems to be more on expanding their product offerings and increasing prices rather than ensuring the validity and trustworthiness of their certifications. This lack of action is not only detrimental to the credibility of the cybersecurity industry, but it also puts the security of organizations around the world at risk. When employers can't trust the certifications of their potential hires, they are left with a difficult decision: invest in extensive vetting and testing, or risk hiring unqualified individuals. The consequences of this breakdown in trust can be severe. Imagine a scenario where a company hires a certified cybersecurity professional who, in reality, purchased a fake certificate on the dark web. This individual may have the technical knowledge to get through the interview process, but once on the job, they are woefully unprepared to handle the challenges of protecting the organization's sensitive data and critical infrastructure. The fallout from such a situation could be catastrophic. Data breaches, system compromises, and even the theft of intellectual property could all become very real threats. And the damage extends far beyond the immediate financial and reputational costs. The erosion of trust in the cybersecurity industry as a whole can have long-lasting effects on the entire field. One of its leading causes will be cheating in exams. Despite the strict security measures in place at most testing centers, such as proctors, security cameras, and controlled environments, some threat actors claim to have found ways around them. For certifications like those offered by CompTIA, Cisco, Microsoft, and AWS, these actors guarantee passing scores by offering to solve the exam questions in real time. How do they do it? Some allege that there are insiders within testing centers, while others act as man in the middle during remote exams, intercepting and relaying exam content to someone else who provides the correct answers. These services, though rare, cast a shadow over the entire certification process, raising questions about the validity of even those certificates who were earned legitimately. Then there is the issue of leaked courses. In 2022, there was a 73% increase in the number of leaked cybersecurity training courses advertised on underground markets compared to the previous year. These courses, which can cost anywhere from $5,000 to free, depending on the provider, are often available on the dark web for a fraction of the price. The problem here is twofold. First, the existence of these leaked courses devalues the legitimate offerings, making it harder for honest professionals to justify the cost of their education. Second, it opens the door for more people to pass certification exams without truly understanding the material, leading to a workforce that may be certified but not necessarily qualified. While it's important to note that the market for these fraudulent services is relatively small, its impact cannot be ignored. The fact that these services exist at all undermines the trust in cybersecurity certifications as a whole. Exam providers do their best to uphold the integrity of their exams, but as long as there is demand for shortcuts, there will always be those willing to supply them. So, what can be done to address this crisis of confidence in the cybersecurity certification industry? The solution lies in a combination of industry-wide reforms, increased transparency, and a renewed focus on the true value of these credentials. But the responsibility doesn't end there. Employers, too, must play a role in resorting the credibility of these certifications. By implementing robust verification processes and placing a greater emphasis on practical skills and experience rather than just paper credentials, organizations can help weed out the unqualified and ensure that only the most competent and trustworthy individuals are entrusted with protecting their sensitive data and systems. Furthermore, individuals seeking to enter or advance in the cybersecurity field must be willing to critically evaluate the value of these certifications. Instead of blindly pursuing the latest hot credential, aspiring security professionals should carefully consider the real-world relevance and practical application of the skills and knowledge they're acquiring. The issues with cybersecurity certifications are not going away anytime soon. As long as there is a demand for shortcuts, there will always be those willing to exploit it. However, the industry as a whole must take responsibility for ensuring the integrity of these certifications. Exam providers need to do more to prevent cheating, and employers must take the time to verify the credentials of their prospective hires. Simply put, the cybersecurity industry cannot afford to ignore these issues. The consequences of doing so could be devastating, not just for individual companies, but for the industry as a whole. So, what do you think? Are you convinced that cybersecurity certifications are little more than a scam? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening insights on the ever-evolving world of cybersecurity.